All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Serious Angler podcast, the last Monday Night Live of 2021. As always, I'm your host, Bailey Eichbrett, and joined with me is the captain, Mr. Andy Full. What's going on, buddy?
Trimmed up beard, so I'm not feeling as burly. My face got a little cold today on the streams, but not a whole lot is really going on right now. Thankful 2021 is coming to an end, and looking forward to 2022 and everything that has in store. What's up with you?
Not much, man. Today it's been kind of nice. I have off from work, obviously from Christmas Eve until January 3rd. Like kind of like just doing small things here and there, but it's nice to kind of have a week to kick back, get a bunch of stuff that I've been trying to get done amidst all the craziness done this week. And the nice part is my fiance is done with her semester, so she has kind of like she starts her clinical for 2 months on January 3rd. So both her and I have the week off. So we got engaged back in April, and we're finally starting to do some wedding planning here.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
yeah, so that's going to happen this week. So stay tuned for updates on that. But other than that, dude, I am good. I'm liking some time that we get to chill, and tonight's going to be fun. We're getting our buddy, Mr. Destin DeMarion, back on the show. Which
It's been a while.
been too long. Yeah, it's been a long while. And we're not gonna be too long of an episode, which I say that, but there's times we say that we'll go an hour and a half. But tonight we are going to recap our 2021 personally as a podcast. We'll recap with Destin, and we'll talk about what's in store for 22, so y'all can get hyped about it, just from our standpoint, but also what's coming for D. And we're gonna have a good time tonight. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And Andy, if you don't have anything else, I think
you can break D on.
Cool. Without further ado, Mr. Destin DeMarion,
what is going fellas, on? It's been a while, as you were saying.
Yeah, I feel like it's been too long since I've seen
it's been like 5 months or something crazy.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the last time we had you on the show.
I think the last time I've been on was
I think it was just longer. Me and Destin.
The James. I think when I was down at the James Open.
Yeah.
It's been too long, but either way, it's good to get you back on here, and it's good to recap the year, look ahead, see what's going on for 2022, and small plug for folks looking for some Abu rods. Destin is selling some on his Facebook page. Better get him before I
cleaning house of all my stuff.
Yeah, better take him before I do, and please do.
And there's 2 reels as well, brand new.
Nice.
Yeah. See, he's getting his eBay page all set up here.
I've just kind of covertly been doing it, and I sold a lot of them already, and I was like, all right, I asked my wife to kind of take care of it from there on. So I've already sold quite a few of them before I even posted them.
That's good.
Yeah, exactly. Well, dude, I know you've had a bunch of stuff happening in the past few months, and you moved into a brand new house. That hurt.
New is relative.
Yeah. For folks that keep up with you on social media, they see you've been on the husband honey-do list grind of patching up the new place. But give us a little lowdown on the new crib and what's been going to happen.
Yeah, I told my wife one day, she texted me and I said, I'm not Bob Vila, I'm Bill Dance. So that kind of tells you about how good I am at like doing house like jobs and stuff. But
did you paint that room?
I've learned a lot. What was that, Andy?
Did you paint that room?
I did. Yeah.
It looks good. So maybe you are Bob Vila.
My painting skills have went from like a 1 to like maybe like a 55 out of 100.
Nice. We'll take it.
Yeah. So I hate painting. That's something that I've learned. It's probably the worst job that I've done as far as like little household maintenance and junk, but it's coming along. I've not been as productive lately just because we've had a lot going on, but this week I also have off like Bailey, and I'm hoping to get some more projects done around the house.
Hoping we can get back on the water, you and I, with Mr. Duke of Buffalo. And
yeah, we kind of wimped out this morning. Jeff and Bailey and I were going to go fishing on the lake, and I got up in the morning. I was like, dude, there's like 2 inches of snow on the ground. It's blowing 20 at my house. And he's like, oh, yeah, we'll just cancel. And then, of course, like by 10 o'clock, it was fine. And Jeff went out and smashed them by himself. So you live and you learn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get up this morning at 7 a.m. I put on a pot of coffee, get a text from Jeff saying, "Hey, we're actually we're gonna call it quits for today. You know, Destin texted me. It's gonna be pretty bad. Weather looks pretty bad." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I decided to get a little work done. Took a little 30-minute snooze. Wake up to, "Hey, and I actually I in that time made plans." And Destin texted me. He goes, "Hey, you still free? You want to go back fishing? I'm just gonna go." And I was like, "Well, I already made plans, so no." But yeah, it sounds like we didn't miss out. It sounds like he smashed down.
Yeah. He sent me a picture. Like it was like calm, probably about like 20 to 10, and I was like, "Oh man, I messed up."
Yeah, there was no wind. There was a little bit of wind here because me and Joe were on the creek. There was a little bit of wind around like 8:30, and after that, there was like nothing.
That's what it was here. Like it was blowing right when I got up, and I was like, "Dang, my trees were like laid over." You know, I think it just blew through and it was gone. You know, I was like, "Oh man."
Typical Northeast weather folk always getting it wrong.
I mean, to even have a chance to go fishing on the open water at the end of December is pretty cool, though. I mean, we got to give it up for that because how many years are we able to do that and be able to catch them when the water's still in the 40s?
Yeah. Not every year, but the last 3 years, it seems to be like a common pattern at least.
Yeah, we're getting milder winters, really. I don't know if it's global warming, but I'm cool with it if it is.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we can do without the 20-plus foot waves on Erie and 70-mile-an-hour winds.
Those happen every year for years.
Yeah, they do.
It just seems like they're progressively moving back. Like it used to be like end of October, beginning of November, we'd get the big winds. This year it was all the second and third week of December, which is crazy.
We're having really warm falls. I mean, the falls are just, that's the thing. It just keeps pushing those back, like you said, those fronts coming in and creating that crazy wind and wave conditions. It's just December now.
Yeah. And now we say that next winter will probably get plummeted with like 8 feet of snow, 80-mile-an-hour winds, 10 days straight in October.
Well, I heard this year was a La Nina year.
Mm-hmm. This year and last year.
And so most of the bad weather is going to just miss us. So for the winter. So that's probably why we're getting what we're getting right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, okay. For folks, I mean, I might be the only one. It would be the first time that I'm the only one that doesn't understand a certain term, but what the heck does La Nina mean?
There's La Nina and La Nino.
El Nino.
El Nino, yeah. So it's basically the way the jet stream moves across the Pacific, it shifts the cooler water north or south of the equator, and it controls the weather of the northern and southern hemisphere, in layman's terms.
Right. So some areas are going to get really bad.
Yeah.
This is a comparison of someone that paid attention in high school and someone that did not.
I think Jeff just told me this, so that's all I got to go off.
Yeah, see, like I said, I'm like the only one that doesn't understand this because apparently everyone else does.
Yeah, they're like, dude, what are you talking about, Bailey? You're such a noob.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it.
Bailey's a fisherman.
This is the Serious Angler podcast. Serious Tangler.
Yeah, Andrew's the serious angler. I'm just the guy taking notes.
Serious Tangler. Like that picture where you're like,
Serious Tangler.
That was the best.
I still need to make that a shirt.
I know, that would be so good. People would love that. If you guys would buy a Serious Tangler shirt with Bailey, please tell him so he makes these.
Yeah, drop a comment below if you would buy a Serious Tangler shirt of like, there's a picture of me. Like, I think we're on Lake Wilson.
It was Fork.
No, I think it was Wilson because I think Jackson was with us in Bama on our way home.
No, I think you were. I think it was at Fork. You might be right. I don't know. I'll check.
Yeah, it was Wilson because the current wasn't running that day, so we were hitting some creeks, and I was throwing a jerk bait behind you guys.
You're right.
And I completely I didn't adjust whatever, switch from a football jig to a jerk bait, and just completely bird nested. Yeah. And I'm just sitting there like posing with it, and you got my picture, and yeah, it'd be perfect for a shirt. But
it was pretty great.
Here we go. Joe LaBarbera said he'll buy 7.
Not that all of us haven't done the same thing 150 million times anyway, too.
Yeah, usually if I do like a backlash like that, big expletive comes out of my mouth, and then maybe a rod slam, and then I just kind of pick it out and keep fishing.
You can have a front and a back to the shirt then.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to do something with that. We got to figure out a system either way. We got some plans for apparel.
It's going
next
to
year.
be a hot commodity.
Yeah.
Apparently, Joe's already into by 7, so like
I see that.
we're moving
We got
inventory.
7 sold.
I think it's worth looking into.
All right, Destin, we need you to help settle this question here.
Okay.
Paul, our friend Paul Roberts over at the Bass and Brews podcast, is ripping on me all the time about I like to put baby spinach on my sandwiches instead of like lettuce. Is that a weird thing?
Not to me. I
It's
use spinach more than lettuce.
Is spinach a protein?
I mean, I watched Popeye, so I guess it was good for something.
That's what I said.
I think it was the iron, really.
So I think the
20
question,
gram of-
because I had to answer the same question, it was like something random, like name a protein that comes into your head like on the count of 1. And Bailey said spinach.
No, he said, what kind of protein do you put on your sandwich?
Oh yeah,
And I
top
listed
3
off
proteins.
turkey. I said turkey, spinach, and like chicken or something like that.
Well, at least you didn't just
It's
like
usually-
say spinach
turkey or chicken.
singularly.
Spinach.
Yeah, top proteins for a sandwich. There is for whatever. Get out of here. I'll take my spinach to the grave with me.
No, spinach
I'll
is
ride
good.
or
I
die.
mean, we
Yeah,
have
it is
like I forgot what we carry, spring mix, and it's got like baby
Yes,
spinach and a
That's
couple
what I
other
like
things.
too.
I throw that
especially for a
stuff-
salad. The spring
yeah.
mix is the bomb.
But I throw that on top of like a deli meat sandwich, and it's incredible because it has all of it in there. Good
Heck
crunch.
Backlash Pro.
He's in
Paul says he said spinach first.
health
Yes.
and wellness, baby.
I
Health
thought
and
Andrew was
wellness.
just being nice. He's like,
Fun
okay, he
fact,
said it's like second.
in college, we had this weird thing. Like after practice, we'd go to the dining hall, and like I don't know who started it, but it became a ritual after we all went to the dining hall to get a bowl of just straight spinach, and whoever could just like get the most spinach, like first one basically to finish their bowl of just raw spinach. I don't know. There wasn't
That's
a point to the story.
brutal.
Yeah.
What did you win?
Brutal.
Nothing.
Slap on the
I don't know.
back.
I don't know. It's just a dumb thing we did. We were like Popeye, basically.
Okay.
We'll move on from that. Yeah.
Well, now I'm aware of the spinach, the whole background on that one. So that's good. We'll have to make fun of you when we go out Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, well, just add to the list of content to make fun of me for. Yeah.
You're a good sport. We can all make fun of each other. That's the good thing.
I've told Andy that's my life existence is just to be the laughing stock for folks.
Well, we were just talking. I was talking to my wife about. She was like, we got a Christmas card from Justin and Amanda," and she was like talking about another Justin and Amanda that also have 2 dogs and also have 1 kid, like the exact same in different regions of the country. And she's like, that's all confusing and stuff. I was like, all my friends have the most absolutely generic names: Jeff, Mike, Andy. Like they're all just like very like. A lot of people have that name, so it's easy to have like multiple Justins or whatever. And then she's like, well, Bailey's not that common. I was like, yeah, it's true. I was like, his parents thought he was going to be a girl though. So that's why. Wasn't that the backstory?
Yeah, it's usually a girl named Bailey or a dog. And that's it.
Yeah, I've known a lot of like dogs named Bailey. I knew a girl named Bailey too, but
I've yet to meet another male named Bailey.
I've seen other. I don't know personally, but I've seen the man named Bailey too.
Yeah. If anyone listening to this or watching on YouTube, if you have heard of a male named Bailey, please let me know. give me some sort of confidence. I love to introduce myself as one of their own.
You gotta give them something for this. Like, I will give you a single 2-aught hook if you find another Bailey.
If you find another Bailey, same spelling, that's a male, I will send them some fritz sides or something like that. How about that?
Oh, caveat: they must fish.
Now, Andy, we're growing the sport. We're getting them into fishing. Okay.
Like,
Come on.
oh, his name's Bailey too. I've been so alone. Now I'm going to be a fisherman.
Bailey times 2.
You know what? I'm an idiot. Like we've had him on the show. Bailey Boltrees is an angler.
Yeah, I know him actually.
How did I forget about that?
Looks like you're sending him some fritz sides, bud.
Yes. Like, Bailey, like out of nowhere, he's like, What? Like, I'm sending you Fritz sides. What? What is this about? Your name is Bailey too. Don't ask questions.
Do not send the show to Bailey Boltrees.
We must be friends.
I can't say much because Destin's also a girl's name too.
I don't know any girls.
It's more commonly a guy's name, but it
Destiny.
also can be a girl's name. Most commonly it's Destiny, but Destin can be a girl's name too.
Apparently, there's a Bailey who works for Mustad. Who knows?
Look,
Yeah,
dog fishing with Dom's little brother's friend is Bailey.
Well, there you go. Does he fish? That's the question. If he doesn't, I'll actually send him some Fritz.
Just send him Fritz sides, even if he doesn't fish. Be like, what am I going to do with these?
Just randomly, like, why is there a Bailey sending me Fritz sides in the mail?
Yeah.
That is totally creepy.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start getting into this thing. Otherwise, we're going to be talking about random crap for another 45 minutes. But let's have you go first here and kind of give a recap of 2021, some highlights, and kind of how you're feeling going into the new year.
2021, there wasn't a lot of like really good stuff as far as fishing wise. Obviously, with the house was awesome. I mean, my daughter's now at an age where like she's just fun, and it's not like a little blob anymore where you can like have conversations. She understands stuff, and she's just a lot of fun. But I mean, the Champlain tournament, the Elite Series at Champlain was awesome. That was the most fun tournament I've had in a long time. And surprisingly, the Sabine River was a fun one for me, just because it's so grimy and crappy, and I knew absolutely nothing about the place, and was just able to do like fairly well at that one. I was happy about that, and meeting a lot of more cool people this year. Getting to fish with you guys some this year, which is always a treat. And heading into 2022, I'm excited to be able to spend a little bit more time with my family, and still get after it, but spend a little bit more time with the family, the wife and kid, and get our house together.
Yeah. I would say it was fun watching you catch them in my face at Lake Fork, and me catching a total of 3 bass in like 5 days on Lake Fork, one of the most regarded as pristine lakes in the country.
Yeah, one of the most pressured lakes in the whole country too.
Oh yeah.
Those fish know like, I'm not eating that. I'm not eating that. At the Fritz side, seeing that.
But it was cool to watch you go to work down there in Texas and see that place. Almost fall off the boat like 30 times because of stumps.
You didn't believe me before.
No, I didn't really believe that much until we got down there and you were like maneuvering through some timber, and I'm sitting there not paying attention. Yeah, almost fly in the lake. See a gator sitting on the bank. Yeah.
Yeah, the first year I went down to Fork, which was the year before, I was terrified of running on that place. I've never really fished a place that's standing timber or whatever, until Santee. And then when we went to Fork, everybody told me how sketchy it is, and it was super low in the fall. I was so sketched out. I mean, I go to service trailers to get something fixed, like a trolling motor pin or a shaft, and there'd be a bunch of guys there with chunks out of their fiberglass and breaking 3 trolling motors in practice and all kinds of that. It was crazy. Wow. I mean, you can get killed there. Like, it is very, very sketchy.
Yeah, and we learned this year that I am the co-angler curse.
The Bailey curse. Yes.
Every time I'm a co-angler for somebody, something bad happens, like Destin's gas tank leaks, or Chris Johnson is the best on the St. Lawrence River and only comes
get
back
him on his worst day ever in his whole life.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even bad. It just wasn't good for him.
Yeah. It was a fun year, especially with you, Destin, traveling around and getting to experience a whole bunch of new stuff that I've never been able to experience, like fishing Jackson's private pond, fishing Lake Wilson. Like,
yeah, you caught a nice one on one of my cash-ins.
Yeah, I almost hooked a dog in the same time with the fish too.
Yeah, dude. His dogs were going after it like every time.
Yeah. Jackson is a good buddy of mine, a listener of the show as well. Let Destin and I crash their place. They have a private pond that's got like 5 to 8 pounders in it, and it's got some crazy dogs, but
Silly.
they're fun nonetheless. Yeah. But
Yeah, it was
yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah. Anything else to add, Destin?
Andy and I's record still stands on Erie, which is good. It was close. Billy got a couple big sacks this fall. Billy Gilbert, and at least we got one more year.
Yeah, maybe. Never know.
You guys going to be fishing another derb on Erie this year?
I don't know if there's any. Are they doing another?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything or seen any schedules.
I mean, think they'll announce that probably.
Oh, Tony here says Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
So I neglected to
Happy New Year.
Neglected to mention that in the beginning of the show is hope everyone had a great Christmas, had a good holiday. Do you guys get any fishing goodies that you'd like to talk about?
Gift cards.
I got a car jack. I mean, that's what I got for Christmas.
I got 3 boats actually for Christmas.
Yeah, I heard about your toy boats.
So I'll tell a story really quick, but my mother, like every year start November, like will text my brother and I, my grandma will ask like, what do you want for Christmas or whatever. And so this year I was just sarcastically saying like, oh, I would really love just a brand new truck and boat. Like, you know, because that's what I want. But I just say as a joke, obviously they're not going to actually get me that. But my mom, like on Christmas morning, was like, gave me this box, and she's like, because he kept asking for it, like, here it is, and open it up, and it's this Bass Pro Shops like little plastic Ford Raptor pulling a nitro, and she goes, he kept asking for a truck and boat, but you never specified what, so I had that, and
I got some laughs.
Yeah, and I got a little boat ornament, and then I got an RC nitro from my fiance's dad that I'm totally gonna use to film and catch panfish with.
Yeah, so, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Asking you shall receive, I guess.
Yeah, well, you guys had a lot of good stuff. I mean, Andy's guide business is really going strong. Our other buddy Jeff's guide business doing well too. I mean, Bailey, you guys with the podcast, you're doing a great job and keep building. It's pretty cool to see. I mean, when Andy did one of your first podcasts, I remember, and then like Mike and me did some like one of the early on, like just see the progression from then to now is crazy.
Yeah, I have a little laundry list here that we can dive into, kind of not by dates. I should have taken the time to put the actual dates of each. But it's kind of shows like the progression of this past year. And it started with early January, Andy, when I asked you to join me for the 100th episode, the first episode I ever did live. And that was the first episode you ever co-hosted. And that was before we decided to like work together on this thing. And that was early January of 2021. And now we're like 150 episodes or something like that deep in this thing.
Yeah, there's been a lot of progression, a lot of meeting of the minds that we've had, I would say. Mostly Bailey talking. I'm like, that's a good idea. That's a bad idea. That's a good idea. That's a bad idea.
He's full of ideas.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised Andy's still here with how many things I bug him with on the daily of like, should we do this?
Be alone, this?
So I think there was a relative quote here that I said to Bailey a few weeks back, and I said, I never wanted another little brother, but I'm glad to have you.
That is kind of the relationship I see there.
Yeah, pretty much.
He did say that verbatim. As he brings us over our girly coffee in our weekly morning meetings.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to do that this week. I'm a little too busy, but maybe next week.
It's okay. I'm off this week. It's fine. I'll give you the week off.
Perfect. Thanks. Hey, you can't hate on that coffee. Like, it's one of the best things ever. It's so
I'll never
good.
hate on that.
It's so good. It's a double shaken espresso over ice with white mocha and brown sugar.
I hope my dad doesn't listen to this because he'll not let me come home.
Dude, the first time I ever went fishing with you and your dad, he was ripping on you for drinking milkshakes and eating Five Guys. Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Well, I think his dad turned it into like this big sexual joke, and it was really funny.
He did. He did.
Mm.
Well, so here's the gist. Basically, we ordered Five Guys the night prior, and they brought everything over, and then basically they forgot my milkshake that I ordered, and I'm like, damn, I didn't get my Five Guys. And my dad's like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? And he turned it into this thing, and it was teasing me in front of Andrew the next day, saying, no, he was complaining because he didn't get his Five Guys last night. So yeah, there it is. That's my father, everyone.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And oh man, he was laughing so hard that day on the boat. I was dying. Like, I think there was a couple times I was borderline crying because Bailey's dad was just ripping on him about his Five Guys and a milkshake.
Between that and my dad, cranking him a smallmouth off beds in Erie Harbor, like, he was laughing like a little kid. He enjoyed himself.
That'll definitely get you giggling.
And Bailey also lost the rod that day.
Oh,
Yeah,
We're running down the lake. We got back to the launch and we're like, Bailey's like, I lost the rod.
So there was wasn't it like, it was end of June, like it was one of the Saturdays, really like beautiful day.
Yeah, it was like
running
the
through the
second
harbor.
Saturday, June. Oh.
Yeah, everyone's
Miserable.
out and about, like in the harbor, flying, like, and so like the waves are obviously bouncing off the walls and everything. So it was a little bit bumpy on the ride back. And we get back to the launch, and I'm going to get out and everything packed out. And I look at my dad sitting on the side with the rods, and I look at him like, Dad, where's the rod you're using today? He goes, oh, must have flew out of the boat.
nonchalantly.
Well, oh, great. Awesome.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
There's a couple $100.
Yeah. That's all right. But yeah, so early January, episode 100 happened, and we're now at episode 261, I believe tonight is.
Yeah,
so
something crazy like
Oh,
that.
wow.
it's pretty crazy, and that progression. Finally asked Andrew to help me co-host this thing, and
Terrible idea.
and Andy has invested a lot of time into this brand. So seriously, a huge thank you to you, dude, for year one.
Thanks for having me. Sorry you haven't kicked me out yet.
He's trying.
I know where
There's
this is
nobody
going.
else I could ask to run this thing while I'm not even on it and run the show by themselves. So you've taken the horse, and I've appreciated it.
Well, thank you.
Kudos,
The
guys.
show has grown exponentially to where I ever expected it to be when we started this gig. So it's been pretty wicked cool. And Andrew, I will say thank you too for introducing me to some of my really good friends today. One being yourself, obviously. Two being the guy below us right here. And also the Duke of Buffalo, who I get to call some really good friends right now. And that was all credit to you, buddy. So thank you.
The Duke.
It all comes around, right? Like, if you associate yourself with good people follow, and then you're surrounded by good people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we can all lend a hand to. There's just the fact that we all try to be the best people we can be.
And we can't forget Schnupp.
Schnupp, yeah.
He's just a little farther away now.
Speaking of Schnupp, lately his theme has been calling me as he's going to pick up food.
Yeah, that's usually when I get a call too, is only when he's picking up food.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to pick up pizza for the movers. Hold on. On hold for like 10 minutes waiting for him. He's like, do you have any napkins? I was just laughing at him. And he's like, they're right in front of me. He goes, oh, they're literally right in front of his face.
He's too busy in his new home theater.
Oh, that's wicked.
Fancy
That's
man.
so cool.
Yeah, I hope we can go visit this year.
He's got like a 30+ foot deep garage too. Like his boat is like swallowed up in there.
Perfect. That's how it should be. But I think some other things going down this list, Andy, is we started fishing tournaments together. Won our first tournament on the old Irondequoit Bay, and that was a riot in itself. I think we were laughing for the entirety of that tournament too. But there was a lot of days that we got to fish together where either we were wanting to squeeze each other's heads in or we were smashing them and giggling the whole time.
Well, I don't know if we ever really wanted to squeeze each other's heads in, but
No, but we joked that we would, but it was more us like going bantering back and forth on what we should be doing. It comes like
that's why I
it's a debate.
sabotaged you with players, right?
Yeah. Oh God. We banter back and forth until we come to this resolution of like, oh yeah, that's what we should do, and then we're back to normal. So it kind of works out, like you were talking about the little brother comparison. Yeah, but yeah, we won our first tournament together. Got a lot of good fishing, good content in this year. We fished in Santa suits, which was very popular for the folks that were driving by that day. I've never been honked at more in my life.
In that 45 minutes, I bet we had 200 honks. Like,
I'm pretty sure I know you're fishing, and like everyone can see you.
The best part is when we filmed that. It was like before Thanksgiving when we filmed that too. So people are like, "What are these dudes doing?"
I know him, Santa.
I think another thing to highlight this year too is that it was kind of, we didn't really realize what we were doing when we started it, but doing a little fantasy fishing series, and that turned into something that was pretty popular for the folks that tune into that on MP3 and also YouTube. And we're getting that for 2022, but that's gonna get blown up on our end for the folks that like to tune into that. So fantasy fishing is gonna be pretty big for 22. But I think another important thing to call out for 21 is that, Andy, you left that damn desk of yours and got
my
a new
windowless cubicle, and now I live in the outdoors at least 3 days a week, which is quite great. And then
living the dream, from a nightmare to a dream.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if I would call it a dream yet, but we're getting there because I'm still working kind of for a corporation on the side. So. And beer, Joe, and beer.
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, now you get to enjoy yourself much more, spend more time with the family, and
that's
that'll
the
be a
best
cool
part.
thing. Yeah, for 22, man, you get to have your first full year guiding.
Yeah, it's terrifying, but it's looking good. So it's looking good.
If it's not terrifying, then you're not making a big enough jump.
It's very true.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Fair statement. Yeah. And girly coffee. I love girly coffee. Like,
and
it's kind of like when you go to a wedding, you don't drink like the manly drinks. You always get the girly drinks because they taste better and you can drink more of them.
Dude, I get crap all the time for like ordering like strawberry lemonade and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't drink. I'm like, I don't care. It tastes good.
Exactly. Like, I remember I was at like this wedding. I think it was Amanda's cousin. I was drinking like some cherry pineapple vodka drink. And I was like the bottom of it was yellow, the top was red. And I was like, this thing is delicious. Like, I had like 10 of them. Like, that's like incredible.
You have to be manly enough to do that.
Exactly. Like, to power through it and laugh. Like, it's incredible. Like, exactly. I ordered at the bar and the lady was like, really? I'm like, I want whatever she's drinking.
Famous line.
I'll have what she's having.
Somebody stumbling out of the bar. Like, what are you going to have? Whatever that guy had.
What was the commercial? Like, I'll have what she's having or whatever.
I don't know if I know that one.
Oh.
It was like a movie thing. I don't even remember what
it was.
Really, Joe?
Yeah, it's that beard on his face. That's all he needs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all he needs. But let's see, what else do we have from 2021? A couple things for me that'll you guys will have to keep a lookout for in the next whenever year we decide to do this thing. But I got engaged, as I mentioned, back in April. So look out for a wedding invitation. RSVP at caution. Be tentative on if you actually want to go or not.
Yeah, definitely a no on this side. I think me and Destin will go catch some smallies on Lake Erie because they'll probably be during the summer. And yeah, best of luck.
We might have to do that.
Just we'll go to some place that's got a ramp on the lake, and you guys can just save me from my wedding.
Yeah, I don't think that would go over very well.
Huh?
I don't think that would go over very well, first of all. And second of all, your wedding will be great. So
we'll just pick a lake that has multiple ramps so we don't have to go back to that ramp.
I had mine at Erie, but the plan was to bring boats until it was a blizzard. going up there.
You gotta risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah, we had like 10 inches of snow. I don't think it was going to work very well.
Probably not.
Were you gonna try to get like those fishing wedding pictures?
Yeah, we were.
That would have been cool if you actually caught a smallmouth.
That was old November when we had like all those crazy weather. Now it's November's usually nice.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah,
so weird.
But I think other than that, for 21,
that's the one.
It's cool to fish the first Bass Kayak Classic, even though that was a mess of weather that week. It was cool to see. It's cool to work that classic, being that I started 3 days after I got engaged, started my first ever like full-time job in the fishing industry, still going strong, knock on wood.
Barely, just kidding.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a lot of fun. What'd you say, Destin?
They haven't got rid of you yet?
Somehow they haven't. Somehow they haven't. Yeah. But other than that, it's been a pretty crazy 2021. And it's going to be hard to top 22, but I think with all of our work ethics and outlook on 22, it won't be too hard to kind of top that, beat it, and for the things that we're all going to be striving for this new year. So I think with that, yeah, we got multiple people commenting how they haven't fired me yet. But yeah, I mean, Destin, what are we looking forward to for 22?
A new boat once I have a motor and
I was gonna say when
electronics.
The show shows up. When the show shows up.
Yes, when the show shows up. Getting to go back to Lake Toho for Southern Open. I haven't been there in a long time, so that'll be fun. I have a lot of friends down there because I lived in Placa for a while and guided in St. John. So I always like Florida, especially in the winter. I want to fish a lot more around home too. So I'm really looking forward to that, considering I'm 4 minutes from the boat ramp at Lake Erie now, which is going to make it really nice. Do a little bit more guiding too this spring and maybe not travel quite as much. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to that.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Bring a little bit more stability, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's good for the kid and my wife and us. It's definitely good. It's hard being on the road. It's hard to be a dad when you're on the road.
Right.
I mean, you got it. You're never going to have this back.
Yeah. And dude, like on top of just like traveling for tournaments, the amount of work you put into preparation of like traveling to lakes that you need to, get some knowledge on, get time on, get familiar with. The time you put into pre-practice for places, that showed a lot of dedication there. And I think in the long term that's ultimately going to pay off. So, yeah.
Everything's a long-term investment. I mean, in my mind.
Yeah, that's for sure. Any new things coming with the house in the next year? Any toys that you're looking to invest in?
I look forward to getting my garage into like the man cave fishing area.
That must be last on the list.
What's that?
Last on the list of things to do is the man cave.
It's first in my mind.
Fair point.
I need somewhere to go.
Your wife isn't listening to this, is she?
Hey, she's the one. This is my daughter's room that I painted. She actually suggested I put my fishing stuff in here for now, just because with the tournament coming up really quick, just to have my stuff in one place. So that was nice of her. Very surprising.
Kudos to Megan.
Yes.
Yeah. Props to
Thank
Megan.
you, Megan.
Well,
other than
Andy?
that, just blasting on smallmouth up here.
Ooh,
I can't wait till the
look forward
pre-spawn
to those.
bite. What's that?
I look forward to some texts from you saying, "What are you doing this weekend?"
Yeah, the pre-spawn bite here at Presque Isle is just so stupid.
I've yet to get down there because our schedules just never aligned.
Well, yeah, the good thing about this, it always pops off so early that you can't even fish up there yet by the time we can fish here. So,
right.
I mean, we've been fishing here as early as mid-March.
Well, my boat comes out in March, so I might have to bring it down a few times.
Come on down, dude. That's it. Like, it's such a small area that's protected. Like, there's almost no day that you can't fish, which is the great thing about Presque Isle.
Incredible.
Speaking of
Ocala.
22 and boats, Andy, any word on if you're going to get a new boat or not?
I would like to. There's a lot of things that are pending in the breeze that kind of dictate that situation. So I just bought a new truck. I don't know if everybody knows about that, but that took a big damper on my savings. That was part of the boat fund. So
well, it's good to get rid of that dang death trap.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, my truck
You're in the
starts
shop all the time.
So funny story, and Joe can attest to this. I still don't know like everything about my truck, and I show up to him this morning. I go, all my stuff is in the hatch, and I don't know if I can get it out because my hatch is stuck. Well, come to find out, if I unlock my doors, it unlocks my hatch on the back of the truck, and I had no idea because my last Ford didn't do that. And I'm like, why won't it open? You know, like, yeah, that's what I'm telling the tailgate. Yeah. So like,
that's how mine is too.
And Joe was like looking around. He's like, it's not opening. He's like, try unlocking it. So I unlocked it, and it's like clunk, and he opens right up. And it's like, thanks, buddy. So yeah, I was like all freaking out because all my stuff was in the back. I couldn't get it out. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I would have paid to see that. It's always me making the airhead move, so it would have been nice to just see somebody else for a change.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh man.
Yes.
Let's see. Anything else for 22, Andy, that you want to talk about beyond, first year full-time guide?
2022. I look forward to growing this podcast even more than it is. Second, probably looking at buying a new house in 2022, which is kind of going to be crazy. And then really from there is just kind of hopping around and seeing where things go. Maybe hop in a couple tournaments. I'm not solidifying anything on the schedule really. And then just hoping for a good year and hoping this COVID stuff goes away. Just kind of tired of it. Absolutely tired of it.
It is getting pretty freaking annoying. That's for dang sure.
Yeah.
With all these, like we were joking about, these Omicrons, Autobots, and Decepticon things that are going around. Stay clear, folks.
Got that Megatron virus.
You had me going there for a second. I was like, what? There's a new one now? Megatron?
But yes, in honor of John King, I cannot wait for him to get up here in June. That is going to be a riot. We're going out for 2 days on Erie, so that's going to be fun.
June? Sand Money June?
Yeah, Sand Money June.
That'll be good. That'll be a lot of fun.
Wilkie.
Another thing I think to talk about for 22, Andy, is, well, hopefully, if we can fit that in the schedule somewhere, is we're looking to go out fishing either by Deacon or finding an alternative location for the three of us to, whether for a weekend or a week or however the heck we're going to do it, the three of us get together and actually do some fishing, do some filming, because that's something that we've yet to do, which in 21, obviously, as folks that we were talking about on the Christmas show, we brought in Adam Deacon, Business from the Bass Boat, to this platform, and has been a great addition. And we're going to keep striving to keep improving this team that we got for 22. But dude, it'd be really cool to go out west, out in the Midwest with him and do some fishing, do a little change of scenery.
It would be fun.
Podcast. Yeah. So that'll
as long as it's not like Grand Lake in October.
Yeah, no, it'll be orchestrated in a place where we will catch a lot of fish and big fish and have a good time and not struggle.
Farm ponds, got it.
Farm ponds, yeah. There you go. All right, sounds like Big Earring. Okay, yep. There we go. We got our camera guy here. John King said he'll be our camera guy. I don't know if I trust him with a camera, though.
Once his meniscus gets better, though. Like, he just went through surgery a few days ago.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully,
John, give us an update in the comments. How the old peg leg's doing.
Serious English Enterprise Gold Card. Oh, God. That sounds like trouble.
It does. Good grief.
Is this a subscription-based program? To get your Serious Danglers Enterprise Gold Card?
Yes.
You got to earn it.
$99.99 a month.
You got to earn it.
You got to earn it. It's like a gold star program.
Something like that. Something you don't want to earn.
Or if you just have the name Bailey sends you Fritz sides as a gold star, gold card person. So
deal. Let's see what else. 2022 fantasy fishing is going to be a heck of a lot of fun. We're going to do a Monday night live show for every single tournament coming up for the elites, and we're also going to be playing the Major League Fishing fantasy fishing, which we haven't dived into entirely to figure out the system, but that'll be towards the tail end of each episode. But primary focus is to build up the Bassmaster fantasy fishing because everyone enjoyed that thing so dang much. We had a lot of engagement. People were asking us to do it again this year. I've gotten a bunch of messages asking what we're doing. A bunch of people have already joined the group. I think last I checked, we were at like 150 something people that had joined that. So if you are doing Bassmaster fantasy fishing, head over and join our group because we're going to have, I believe it's 11 live shows that we're going to have covering the upcoming season, tournament recaps, etc. And each week we are going to give away a $25 gift card from Omnia Fishing. Little prelude for folks that are watching tonight's show. We'll give away a pair of Hobie eyewear shades, a $25 gift card to Queen Tackle, and then at the end of the season, there's going to be a really big gift card giveaway that will unleash here in a few weeks. But it's going to be giving away a whole bunch of crap every single time we have a live show. So make sure you guys join that, and make sure you guys join the Bassmaster Fantasy Fishing group that we have over at bassmaster.com. We hope to get you guys over there. But fantasy fishing is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be the four of us again. It's going to be Andrew, myself, Deacon, and Bart. Every week I'm running it live, talking and arguing, debating, having some fun, taking some picks, making predictions.
Bold prediction. Bart chooses somebody from Minnesota in every group, every tournament.
Yeah, most likely.
Minnesota pride.
We need to force him to do Drain the Lake so he stops picking people from Minnesota. But yeah, so folks, basically what I'm trying to say is look out for fantasy fishing. That is going to be a heck of a lot of fun this year. I'm really looking forward to that. And I think just about every conversation, Andy, that we have with Deacon, he brings up how excited he is for fantasy fishing.
Yeah,
at least
absolutely.
once. So we know Deacon's looking forward to it.
It's fun.
And yeah, it really is. It really is a good time. So we're looking forward to that a lot. Before we get too deep into our end of our episode here, I want to mention, because we usually mention this at the end of shows, and I just want to mention to folks that are listening right now, whether on Spotify or Apple or more towards our Apple folks, because predominant all of our listeners are Apple. If you guys can get a second to leave us a rating and review on your app, that would help out big time, especially going to the new year. The more we can build this thing, the more we can give back to you guys, and that's obviously what we want to do. So figure out, plug that right there. We're not a big platform for self plugs, but I'll throw that in there going into the new year. It'll help out big time.
GoFundMe / Bailey Agret.
GoFundMe, PayPal, Venmo. Yep. No, just kidding.
If all my friends on Facebook sent me $1,
Yeah.
it would be $4,000 richer.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy that puts out a GoFundMe for his entry fees for the year. Yeah, be that guy. Good gosh. All right. Some other things that we can look forward to for 2022, beyond just the podcast, growing this thing, is I do intend on filming a new kayak series, because I know we have a decent kayak following here. Folks that fish tournaments from the kayak or fishing the kayak in general. I plan on doing, the plan is to do 5 Hobie BOS tournaments, but I guaranteed 3. It just depends on the work schedule if I could do 4 and 5. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna really put a lot of effort into filming that. I'm gonna be traveling with my buddy. It's actually in the comments right now, Mr. Zach Hall. Drew Gregory will be joining us in the on that travel as well, and potentially in that film series. So you guys can look out for that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And then really just me on the personal side. Looking forward to just all the different fishing adventures with this podcast this year, and whether it's work, podcast, or personal trips, Looking forward to what 22 is going to bring. I will take a selfish moment here to say that basically, less than a month from now, I will have an opportunity to fish with one of my childhood heroes, a guy that I would wake up on Saturday mornings as a kid and watch on TV. I get to go fish with Mr. Hank Parker. So just want to put that out there as a little self-brag, little self-humble brag. That's going to be weird. I'm just going to say that. It's an event I'm organizing. That's going to be weird to be on the flip side of hey, Hank Parker, you got to go do this. That's going to be weird. So.
Come on, Hank.
Great. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that then.
I got to fish for him on the that lunker trough thing, and he did the speech. He didn't want to get up on the thing, so I casted for him.
You were his cool casting dummy?
Yes, I was a cast test dummy.
Oh, man.
Could be worse. You could have been a crash test dummy and he pushed you into the tank or something.
Maybe Phoenix will hire me for that. I'll be a crash test dummy.
I think there would be a high insurance liability.
I'll just sign off. It's all good.
Oh, yeah. Megan would appreciate that.
I think if you just browse social media, I think there's somebody that already did that this year.
What?
Just browse social media. I think
with Phoenix,
people that are. Wasn't it a bird, Andy?
If you're talking about that one guy that circulated, it was a ranger.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
never mind. But you could do that. That'd be a good way to test it out. Or don't. Yeah, we like this.
I recommend don't doing that. That would hurt.
Yeah, I think it would.
Oh gosh. All right. So 2022. Any other things that we want to highlight for the new year, boys? Here's a good question from Joe. Any new baits that you guys are looking forward to trying this year?
All of the ones I haven't thrown before.
Well, way to keep your answer simple.
More glide baits. I got some really expensive glide baits at the end of last season. And I am looking forward to messing around with those a little bit.
Fun.
Dang. Destin's going big bait DeMarion.
I said messing around with them. It's not like I'm going to be – that's my confidence bait or something, but –
Destin DeMarion, the East Coast Byron Velvick.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to lose Destin to the big bait crowd.
Yeah, don't worry. That's not me.
He says that now until he catches his first 8-pounder on the glide, and he's going to be hooked.
It would be sweet. Yeah, it would be. I just like too much other stuff. For me to get super into it, I just don't think it would happen. My problem in general is I dabble in everything. And I don't, other than spinning rod stuff, just because that's what I grew up with, I haven't focused fully on something else enough.
Joe's asking how big of swim baits are we talking?
8 inchers, 8-inch glides and stuff.
Word. That should be a lot of fun.
8 to 10-inch glides.
Nice.
Spell his name right, Joe.
Yeah. Maybe it was on purpose. Duh, Marion.
Duh, man.
Yeah, right. I think it might have been.
I think one thing I'd like to figure out and see if it has a place up here where we are, but big hair jigs, offshore summer patterns. I want to at least just kind of nail down the technique and just kind of learn that part. Tight lining. I would like to learn tight lining as well.
I learned that early last year.
Any pointers you can share with the folk?
I would suggest watching 3B Outdoors. Tight lining.
Bailey always going YouTube. In tight to the mic.
What?
Sorry.
We can't hear you.
He's like, any pointers?
Any pointers, guys? Is this Bob Ross? I'm just going to draw this little tree over here. No. Yeah, watch 3B Outdoors, tight lining. I actually went and tight lined with Nathan, and he's one of the original East Tennessee guys to really pick it up and make it popular.
Sweet. That'll be cool.
Me and Mike went fishing at a lake around here, and it was fishing kind of tough. And I was like, shoot, I'm going to try this. And I started waxing them on it.
Sweet.
So what bait were you tight lining?
So the traditional is a jig head with a 3-inch gulp.
Mm-hmm. That's what you were throwing then?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I feel like you get really creative with that technique, like in terms of what baits you throw.
I don't think it really matters. I think it's more how you fish it.
Right. Makes sense.
That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure like a little, Demiki, little fluke style bait would work too. I think any of it would work, but the gulp's just like the traditional popular one.
Right. Andy, what about you? Any techniques, specific stuff you want to work on in 22?
Something that I used to throw a ton, and then last year you kind of got me back into it, is crankbaiting. I want to expand and get even better at crankbait fishing, like square bills. I do dabble with rattle traps a little bit, but like square bills and deep divers for largemouth, like that's something that I could really spend some time working on. Smallmouth are easy. You can catch 100 of them a day when you get on the right bite, but
come over here. We can do that a lot.
Yeah.
It's fun.
On that topic, you bring up rattle traps. I was thinking about this the other day. I think one thing I'd like to work on is getting out of this notion that certain baits are only good certain times a year. I think certain baits is highlighted. They're more efficient in a certain time of year, but I think that I want to get out of this whole mantra of, you can only catch them on a rattle trap like really good, in the spring, where I think it's a bait that you can catch them all year round. It's just more kind of adjusting to that technique and how you're fishing it or times a day you're fishing it. I think with different things, I want to try to get out of this mindset of like textbook stuff and try just being creative and having a freer mind when it comes to techniques and what fish do. Getting out of this textbook mindset.
A couple of weeks ago when we went out, you made a really, really good adjustment. And that's actually what you changed to is something I want to dabble a lot more into, the adjustment. I'm not going to say, I think we're still keeping it secret, but
you're talking about Erie?
What?
You're talking about when you, Jeff, and I were fishing?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know. I wasn't following with that story at all for the whole thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
when we were fishing
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was like, who? Oh, yeah, we can keep that a secret for now.
Fishing is an art. There are some rules of thumb, but those fish will surprise you every day.
There is a quote unquote a book, but 95% of the bass do not follow the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we'll keep that a secret right now and let the folks go a little crazy. And, that line alone, Andy and I have learned that if you say like, oh, we're not going to tell people the bait or like the technique or the juice, we'll probably get like 5 thumbs down and people commenting about how like
haters going to hate.
Like,
haters going to hate.
Still make that
coming in 2023.
Yeah.
Secret
There's no
bait
secret
review.
Baits anymore. Yeah. Anyone who says that there's no secret baits or like the juice anymore is just dead wrong. There's always going to be. It could even be something that you know about, like that's popular. It's just not being used that way.
Correct.
And that's, yeah. All right. Rant is over for that.
Well,
yeah,
I have another objective for 2022, and this one's going to be a little weird, I think, to a lot of people.
okay.
I need to find. I want everyone who tunes in their opinion. I want to find a new drop shot rod because my 2009 Shimano Camara is about to bite the dust, and I can't find a rod that's very similar in action that I like. So,
Andy, I am selling some Abu Garcia rods.
I know.
Selfless plugs.
I just, being a rod junkie, Abus are nice, but I want something that's very similar in action to that early, like 2008, 2009 Kumara rod I own. It actually might be like 2006.
Surprise, surprise. Steven's got one for you.
Be interested.
He's got everything.
Steve, I'll trade you the Binskis you just sent us for the rod.
So here's the action of that Shimano Camara. right? It's 7.2 medium extra fast tip, but it's parabolic. So when you lay into them, it flexes all the way into the handle.
Oh, both guys there. We got Joe and Steve saying the Alpha Angler, the DSR. I've heard those are like legit spinning rods, like not spinning rods, but drop shot rods. I'm a big fan of that extended grip personally, especially for drop shotting.
Oh, the one where it comes out in front of the reel a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The old Aaron Martin's grip.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason for it, and it's kind of cool. It's when you hold the rod. A lot of people, when they drop shot, will hold their entire hand in front of the reel, and that handle design is so you can put your finger on the blank in front of the handle, so you can have more sensitivity.
Yeah, Destin, really quick before you answer this question from Chris. So Chris put up a question of asking Destin, how tough are you on your rods? Personally, with me, with drop shotting, I'm always the guy that's like feels the bite and will reel and do that cliche, just lean and just let the rod or line do the work. I have learned that your line is much stronger than you think after watching Destin drop shot. He smacks those fish in the face, and he never loses a fish. But like I have learned how much more these like rods and our line and our equipment, if done correctly, can actually take for what I've watched Destin do. So I just wanted to add that part. But
how that drag is set, obviously the action and the power of the rod, but that hook is huge too. That owner, that little number 2, they're a little bit thicker hooks. A lot of people like the flimsier kind of ones that bend. I like that Mosquito because it doesn't flex much. So you do have to set a little harder, but when that sucker gets in there, you have to punch it out because it's in there so good. How tougher am I on my rods? I mean, generally I'm using them pretty good, but the Abus that I had, most of them I used for less than a year, so they're not really beat up. And some of them are still brand new. I haven't even used them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I learned a lot from that standpoint. I feel like, and at least Andy and I, we've always kind of debated like drop shot hooks, and we go back and forth.
It's heavily debated.
Yeah, and that's where I think so many people can be different. There's like some people like you guys. I know you guys hate the gammies, and I've never had problems with the gammies. But I think that could be the difference. There is hook set. I have a completely different hook set than you and Andrew.
It is. It is very important as far as what hook works for you, and how you set your drag and the hook set on it, and what action or rod. Like Andy said, he likes a really parabolic drop shot rod. I don't want mine to be super flexed because for me, setting that heavier wire Mosquito hook, I need a little bit more backbone so I can really jam it in there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I used to be a medium light guy, but I did notice that I was losing more fish, especially with the owner mosquitoes. And I went more to a medium on my drop shots, like a 7-foot medium on most occasions, 6'10", 7-foot medium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I made that change from the 6'10" medium light to a 7 medium as well. Just because one, you're just not getting worked as hard. Like you have a little bit more power over those fish.
You can give them the business instead of the reverse.
Let's see, that's funny that you like the heavier. I like Mosquito lights or that thinner wire hook, but because I use a softer rod, I don't have issues with them.
Correct, and I break them because I'm so used to setting it on that heavier gauge wire hook that I'll break them or just bend them just because they're a really light wire hook. They're a lot of times used for panfish and stuff too.
Nobody's hook set beats Mrs. Andrea Full.
Must be a coffee reference, Dick.
That's funny.
Ask Steven what his favorite hook is. Steven and I were talking about it, like completely didn't know. And he's like, yeah, this year I really figured out like how good that number 2 Mosquito hook is. Like better than even the number 1. And we both have like the same setup and the same basic reasoning, but we came to the same conclusion without even talking to each other about it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good hook. I like the Mosquito light, and then I believe there were Decoy FCs that I bought that I really like. They're very similar in shape to that Mosquito light, but they have like the wire gauge of Mosquito, but they only run in like tiny sizes. I think 2 is the biggest you can get.
Oh, that's the biggest! Wow.
Yeah,
you love Hayabusas.
Yeah, so let me tell you,
he is a huge fan.
Psych.
if you like losing fish, Hayabusas are the way to go. I will just leave it at that.
Shots fired.
Sorry,
There you go,
Hayabusa.
Dustin.
Wacky rigging, yes, Dom. That they are the owner, just like the gold wacky hook. I mean, I like the jungles. I like all those for certain situations, wacky rigging. But that just plain old owner wacky hook is straight up the best wacky hook I've ever found. It's kind of got a little bit of a bend in, like a circle hook, not full circle hook, like bent over, but it curls in like this. And literally all you do, you feel a tick, they're swimming away with it, and you just kind of lean on them. If you watch it Champlain, like 90% of the time, that's kind of what I was doing. If I wasn't throwing a jerk bait or something, I was just catching them on that. And I don't remember losing one fish in any day.
I don't think Destin leans on him though. I've never seen anyone hit a wacky rig fish harder than I've seen Destin.
That to me, that was leaning on him.
See me, like when I feel that, like that, you feel that slack line go tick. I just do a little lean and then I let Destin goes, poosh, like you snap that rod on him. And that's like when somehow we drew each other for the Oneida Open, and I got to go see you work a wacky rig in your Magic. That was like, I remember watching you the one time you cast it up, and I'd see you set the hook, and I was like, how did I not break that fish off? And it kind of gave me a thing of like, maybe I'm too light on some of my wacky rig fish.
Dude, I even went to a heavier rod like in the last 2 years for wacky rig, and I used to use a medium. And for the same reason for the drop shot, I upsized because I wanted to give him the business. I wanted to put that hook in there better. I went to a medium heavy.
What's your take on that, Andy?
I found I like a longer rod for wacky rigging, but like medium, something extra fast. Like I dabbled, I think, with like a 7.4 this year, something a little longer, not so much parabolic, but extra fast tip. And I'll run like a 10-pound fluoro leader just so I can hit them and get them away. But I like that longer rod because you can almost go down a line size to an 8 because it's a little bit more forgiving and you can still hit them as hard.
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm mostly using 8 too.
Well, 8 gamma is just incredible.
Correct.
So
yeah, that's something else that we've been kind of playing around with this past year's line. We had some interesting line situations this past year, Andy.
Yeah. Andy and Bailey.
Yeah,
Bye, $15 jackhammer.
I had the same problem until I went to gamma.
Yeah,
I used them all when I was starting out, and there wasn't one that I haven't tried. There's some other ones that are good, but there's not one that's stronger.
No, that's a fact. What else? Anything else we want to cover, guys, before we sign off here tonight? Anything else coming up on the horizon?
Horizon. Nothing really. I'm pretty sure my guide season is going to slow down here till about March, maybe April. So I do think I'm going to offer some early season trap fishing on Honey Eye, which is a small little Finger Lake around here. That
Finger Lake.
I'm tired. Right. That early on we can get on a really good trap bite in very small sections of the lake, and you don't catch big fish, but you can catch a lot. So that's something I might do.
Nice.
Or just go down to Destin's neck of the woods and go stomp on Presque Isle and catch all of his fish.
It's really stupid good. It's so good.
We will we'll have to plug Destin's information is below. Social media is below.
Was it Big Fat Bass?
Yeah, that's my guide service. Big Fat Bass guide service.
But I mean, people can just get in touch with you like over social, right?
Yeah, that's what most people do. I just get messages.
Yeah, in the show notes here on YouTube, and for folks that are listening MP3 wise, it's in the show notes. You guys can just go below and reach out to Destin. If you're not following, make sure you are. And if you want to book a guide trip, book one. And so yeah, if you want to go to Presque Isle, guide below. If you want to go to Buffalo, guide to
starts early too. We usually start like early April.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's when we started up here last year. It was a riot. April was so good.
We've been having such good weather, like such mild winters.
I remember you saying that, Andy, that is like this is kind of like uncommon like time to get out. in the early spring.
It is.
It is. You
They
like
bite.
some years we don't get out to like the second weekend of May because there's still ice floating.
Yeah, well, you guys, it sucks because of the boom.
Yeah.
If you didn't have that, it would be so much earlier. But that's why it's a 3,500 acre bay that's 20 feet deep and warms up like that. So we don't have that issue. So it starts early, but like it's kind of a progression. We start there, and then your guys' stuff starts firing up when
About 3
ours
weeks
is
later. Yeah.
tapering off a little bit. What's that?
We have Dustin Wilkie here asking, when is Destin going to make an appearance in Oklahoma to catch the trifecta?
Well, I want to go out and Texoma with you, dude. I've been trying to. I wish I had more time when we were at the Classic to come up and stop at your place. But yeah, Wilkie, he lives up in Texoma and fishes there a lot. I get jealous when he's catching smallmouth spots and largemouth in a day. That's pretty cool.
I wish I catfished, Zach.
Catfish, too. Come out with me. We'll go fish in front of PNC Park under the bridges in Pittsburgh.
Perfect.
I used to love doing that. That's
Dead
fun.
bodies. Yeah, good stuff. Well, I know for January, I got 2 big trips coming up, but early February, I am headed down to Louisiana for my first tournament of the year. And I think about that time, Destin, you'll be wrapping up, I think, Toho, correct? It's late January.
Toho is the first couple of days of February.
Okay, so never mind. But you'll be down there late January, essentially.
Correct.
Yeah.
Lord willing,
we'll be looking out for
the
that.
motor.
Yeah.
And
If
graph.
not, I'll just get in the kayak and tow you around. Yeah. Well, boys, I do appreciate taking the time out tonight, Destin, hopping on here with us, and glad the new crib is working out.
Always a pleasure, guys.
Yeah, we're looking forward to getting some more shows this upcoming year.
Absolutely. Always willing to get on with you guys. Always a good time.
Yeah. Well, folks, we appreciate everyone tuning in. On Wednesday, there will be a Business from the Bass Boat show, but we will not have a Friday episode. We'll pick back up next Monday night for the new year for 2022. We will see y'all then.